Breaking news out of Gretna this noon. Happening right now. Police are on an active scene where witnesses tell us that one man was shot by a police officer. It reportedly happened on Cornelius Harris Lane. They say an officer was called out to the house. Then there was a physical altercation and the man was shot. There are about a dozen police cruisers on the scene right now, and police are expected to make a statement later this afternoon. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement confirms they are investigating this officer-involved shooting. And of course, we will bring you the very latest both on air and online at WTXL.tv. Also in Gretna, a man and woman are dead and police are now looking for answers. Good afternoon, I'm Jade Balexa. Thanks for watching WTXL Midday. Police were called around 5:30 last night to a location on 4th Street. Police believe one of the victims is the suspect responsible for the killings, and they're investigating the incident as a possible murder-suicide. Not many details are being released as to where exactly the incident took place or the names of those involved. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is also helping the Gretna Police Department with this investigation. Now in South Georgia, Valdosta police have made an arrest in one of two homicides happening just hours apart. Police say 16-year-old Ricky Barron III got into a fight with 40-year-old Timothy Linder at his home on the 1700 block of Marion Street. Police say the teenage suspect and Linder exchanged shots around 11 last night. Linder was hit several times by gunfire. When police got there, the suspect left the area. Linder died at the hospital. Police found the suspect's vehicle and the teen was found shortly thereafter. Barron is being charged with felony murder, armed robbery, and possession of a firearm during commission of a crime. The police department says this was not a random act. In an unrelated case and happening this morning around 1:15 on the 1200 block of Tracy Lane, Valdosta police say 41-year-old Zane Terrio Hardy was fatally stabbed during a reported domestic dispute. Witnesses say Hardy and a woman who also lived at the home got into an argument. Hardy was taken to South Georgia Medical Center where he died. At this time, no charges have been filed. Now, if you have any information on either of these cases, you're asked to call the Valdosta Police Department at 229-293-3145. Also in Valdosta, a train hit a truck at the Bay Tree Road Railroad crossing. Happened around 1 this morning. Now, this is a picture of the accident taken by Terry Richards at the Valdosta Daily Times. According to the Times, officers on the scene said a man got out of the truck and then ran away. And here in North Florida, a 46-year-old man is hospitalized with serious injuries after getting hit by a pickup truck. The accident happened yesterday evening on State Road 30 in Wacola County. Troopers say Donald Bracci of Crawfordville was riding his bike on the shoulder when a pickup truck hit him from behind. Troopers say charges are pending against the 21-year-old driver, James Cantrell Jr. The jury has been picked for one of the remaining defendants in the FAMU hazing trial. This all after a judge has postponed the cases of 3 of the remaining 4 defendants. Dante Martin's trial began yesterday and is expected to last all week. The trial comes 3 years after drum major Robert Champion died during what authorities are calling a hazing ritual in November of 2011. Pamela Champion, Champion's mother, says it took her son's death to reveal the activities of the band.
I know that he was known as the example within the band. I found his hat, and inside the brim of his hat is etched the word, the example. So I carry this hat with me, because if it wasn't for Robert, you wouldn't know today the ugliness that was being done behind a band.
The trial for the 3 remaining defendants has been set for April. Tallahassee police are hoping to find clues as to what happened to a woman missing for more than 2 months. Leslie Rachel McCoy was known to frequent the Frenchtown area. She's 48 years old, 6'1" in height, and about 180 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Now this morning, TPD, along with the first response search team and their cadaver dogs, combed through a search area on the west side of town, specifically off Capitol Circle and Tennessee Street. Officer David Northway says the purpose of this search is to shed light on this case and to see if there is anyone out there that knows anything before this could possibly turn into a cold case.
There is not significance on them being cadaver dogs. They are here to try and locate any evidence or any leads, bring us to an area where we could possibly search some more. Again, we're trying to just not leave any stones unturned and doing everything we can to try and bring Miss McCoy home to her family.
And if you know anything about this, you're urged to call the TPD at 891-4200. An investigation is now underway into domestic battery allegations involving Florida State University running back Carlos Williams. Tallahassee police began investigating the case over the weekend, telling us no other details would be revealed during the investigation. Meanwhile, the FSU Athletics Department issued a statement yesterday saying they are aware of the investigation and that until they receive more information about the alleged incident, his status on the team will be under review. But fans say this will not affect their support of the team.
It's a great team. I know if there are any issues, I know that just as in the past they've been dealt with effectively and quickly, they'll be dealt with again. And I'm 100% a fan. I think we have a great fan base.
Now, Jack Heder with FSU Ticket Sales says they have actually seen an increase in ticket sales, and it has been a great year so far. A former assistant men's basketball coach at Florida A&M University is suing the university. That's according to our media partners, the Tallahassee Democrat. Condrick Sanders says FAMU discriminated against him because he told the head coach and others he had multiple sclerosis. A complaint recently filed in the Leon County Court says, quote, his coaching career was cut short when his duties were stripped away after being diagnosed back in August of 2013, end quote. The complaint alleges Sanders was isolated from the team on trips, prevented from scouting, and passed up for a higher position. Sanders is seeking damages, expenses, and attorney's fees. Well, if you were out driving this morning, you may have noticed just how bad the fog was, so bad that it caused an accident here in Midway. It happened on High Bridge Road around 7 this morning. Severe fog caused the driver to not see a deer in the road. The driver swerved and the car went into the woods. Both the driver and a passenger were taken to Gadsden Memorial Hospital with minor injuries. And checking in now with Max Saperas. Max, that fog hung around for quite some time, but it's finally lifted.
Yeah, it's finally lifted. We had dense fog advisories that not just went till 10, but actually extended till 11 a.m. and for good reason, because we had visibilities drop from a quarter mile to down to 0 miles out there. So a very dense fog indeed, and that has since lifted, as you mentioned, Jade. And we're translating this into a pretty hot day once again. A lot of sunshine to go around unless you have some leftover moisture like we do at Tallahassee Regional, but still not hindering the warmth. We're at 77 degrees there, 77 in Thomasville, and we're ushering in a breeze off the Gulf of Mexico, ushering in more moisture. So that's why the dew point is very high, and it feels very sticky outside at this hour. And we're also ushering in the heat as well. Here's what we got outside. Titan radar making a clean sweep because we're still very stable despite the winds coming off the Gulf of Mexico. But rain is on the way. Check out over into Texas and Louisiana. That's where we get a little bit of that rainfall, which will be making its way into the region, but not quite yet today. We'll time that out in a couple of minutes. But for the rest of your Tuesday, it's going to be another hot one. Temperatures back into the upper 80s near record high territory once again today, before we cool off and expect some more fog later on tonight. We'll let you know how hot we get today specifically, and we'll also break down how Halloween looks. I think you're really going to like that forecast. We'll have those details and more coming up in a few minutes. Jade?
Max, thank you. Taking a look at news across the region, Amber Vinson, the second Dallas nurse to contract Ebola, is heading home today, 2 weeks after she was diagnosed. She will be released from Emory Hospital in Atlanta, where she's been treated. Vinson got the disease while treating Ebola patient Thomas Duncan. The other nurse, Nina Pham, was treated at a National Institutes of Health facility in Maryland. She was declared Ebola-free on Friday. Several brands of baby wipes are being recalled by a Pennsylvania company due to possible bacterial contamination. New Tech Disposables says it received complaints of rashes, irritation, and fever. Tests showed some of the products contain bacteria and could be very harmful for those with weak immune systems. The wipes were manufactured under several brand names, including Femtex, Fred's, Tender Touch, and Well Beginnings. They were sold to Walgreens, Sam's Club, Family Dollar, Fred's, and Diapers.com. The full list is on the Food and Drug Administration's website. Well, as WTXL Midday continues, some guests are here in our studio to tell you all about a family event coming up this weekend, and it's also aimed at helping the environment. Stay with us.